It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hardworking entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Bridget Hom, who's in the building, and she'll be talking about how to get stuck on ready. Sounds like an oxymoron to me. What's going on, Bridget? How are you?
Awesome, Che. Yeah, stuck on ready because it takes too long to get ready as an entrepreneur. You need to be ready to make moves, right? Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree 100%. So I guess that begs the question, and ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. I'm telling you that now. But why are entrepreneurs struggling today to even have profitable business? I know it might be a loaded question, but we have a number of folks that are watching, and we're going to have that conversation. What's holding them back these days? They've got Instagram. They can go online any day they want on TikTok. They can go to ChatGPT and get whatever information they want. So why are they still struggling to build a business?
You know, that's a great question. You're right. We do. We seem like we have all the resources at our disposal. There's coaches, there's consultants, there's AI programs. There's absolutely everything you need to grow a business. So what are we missing as entrepreneurs? I'll tell you what it is. It's how to actually use your skill set and grow your skill set. It's not about that next one hit wonder for an AI business or any tool. It's actually, do you know how to sell, brand, and market yourself? That's the #1 thing we need to master as entrepreneurs is a skill set. And the truth is, most of these coaching programs aren't teaching that. They're saying, if you do this, if you sign up for this, if you have this program or this product, or if you have a book, it's going to sell you. And then most of us entrepreneurs sit back and we're like, hey, why aren't people coming to me? So it's really understanding that you must master the skill set of selling, branding, marketing yourself, and navigating social media effectively to empower your prospect, like you said, Che. I love when you said that. You know, we're here to empower others. And I always say, make your #1 goal to show up well and authentically. Your #2 goal to empower that person in front of you. And that is where you get to learn how to transform relationships into revenue. It's actually one conversation at a time. What do you think?
One conversation at a time. I love it, by the way. And you talked about skill sets. You talked about 2 types of skill sets. But before we get into that, they're going to read your bio. I get it. They're going to go check you out, and they're probably looking at your website. But they might be curious, this title, how do entrepreneurs get stuck? How to get stuck on ready as an entrepreneur. You wrote the book. I know she's going to show it to you guys in a moment. Take a moment and talk about why the book and how it's relevant to entrepreneurs.
Stuck on Ready is a blueprint for entrepreneurs to learn how to master the successful entrepreneur mindset. You need a mindset and a skill set. Break free from self-sabotage and access limitless potential. Every single page on this book, as I've been told by the people who are reading it, Amazon reviews, every single person is saying, any entrepreneur who's running a business, who's starting a business, needs to have this book because you will use it every single day in your conversations, for emotional intelligence, for communication strategies, for social media. Everything in this book is created to guide you to monetize your influence.
Monetize your influence. Now, monetize influence sounds like it should be easy, but yet there's still a huge challenge out there. People aren't monetizing their business. That leads us to another part that entrepreneurs need to know as a skill. Talk about why they're not monetizing it.
Well, can I take a deep dive here for a second, Che, into
Yes,
mindset?
go.
So I started saying you need the skill set as an entrepreneur, but you really need the mindset first. Listen, I can teach you how to sell, brand, and market yourself, but if you're not in the right headspace, if you're selling yourself with the wrong mental team, as I like to say, you're your #1 client. You buy everything you're selling yourself. If you're saying there's no prospects out there for me, you're right. So the truth is, you want to realize what you've been selling yourself. I like to say your conscious mind is like your salesperson. And your conscious mind sells your thoughts, words, actions, and emotions to the client, your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind buys everything the conscious mind is selling. And so if you look at your life, your business, and relationships as it is right now, you could see what your sales pitch has been to yourself. So get really clear on what you've been believing about your business growth right now. And then you could start to change the script. So it's all about mindset first, Jay.
Mindset. Now, let's talk about mindset around different areas, because mindset means different things to different people. Of course, I like to start talking about mindset that relates to sales. So take a moment, if you would, and tell us, why are folks so fearful? Why do they hate sales? Why is that something they don't want to do?
I love the topic of sales. And here's why. My working definition of sales is serving others with solutions. Marketing is SEO for your client's mind. Branding is programming your prospects to want you. And in my book, I actually reference a children's story because I have three savages at home, Che. I have three boys. And so I was reading the book Sam I Am to them. And this sounds like a silly metaphor, but just go with it for a second with me. Sam I Am did not give up. He had the perseverance, the persistence, the contentment. Could you on a boat? Could you with a goat? Could you here or there? Would you eat them anywhere? Do you remember Sam I Am and Green Eggs and Ham? And he did not give up, maintained that good demeanor. And by the end of that, what happened? He had the most raving fan testimonial possible because he didn't give up. He kept continuing on with those great conversations, and he shifted the way he was communicating. He never changed his empowering demeanor, though. And that's the one thing that you want to stay in. If you're in a place where you're sabotaging yourself in sales, have another conversation. Take imperfect action. Listen, because listening is the universal language of love and respect for all of us in business as well as in relationships. Listen a little bit more, but be ready to ask the next empowering question.
Two parts. First, before we get into the empowering questions, because that means different things, different people. I love that. One, what are maybe one, two, or three things that someone could use as affirmations that have a resistance to the one tool, or I like how you position it, the one skill that could really just change their whole business, which is sales. So is there one, two, or three affirmations or things that they can tell their mindset, just like you were just talking about, to look at sales through a different lens?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it starts with the conviction and belief that what you have to offer is who you're being when you're doing first. So focusing on who you're being when you're doing, and realize you have a magnificent skill set to share with the world. Second, you must believe in your product, message, or service that it's not going to be a transaction, it's going to be transformational. So get into that place where you believe the people who you're going to serve deserve more and better. And you absolutely have the more and better for them. And you believe in them having solutions to their problems faster. So you see, sales really starts with the belief and conviction in who you're being when you're doing. And then the belief in what you have to offer is transformational. And then recognizing that in a conversation, you want to give people the opportunity to solve their problems faster.
I love that. That's spot on. And as you talk about, you mentioned, as you're talking, and if you don't want to come across, I'll use the word of sales. I know y'all thinking I don't be a used car salesperson. You're probably thinking that. She did talk about you got to have maybe some questions that are lined up, right? That maybe what you're going to ask. I thought that was really cool. And so we can frame it for the audience. Maybe talk about two sets of questions, maybe one or two questions someone could ask to get to know the problem of the person they're talking to a little deeper. And these are going to be generic, ladies and gentlemen, but she's going to do the best she can in the time she has. Maybe give you one or two questions. You're like, okay, I didn't think about that. And then maybe another question for those of you like, gosh, I'm a little scared of asking for the business. Like, Shay, you got her in front of you. Like, is there a question? Like how would she ask them to work with them? Two-part question, ladies and gentlemen, she can handle both parts. Take it away.
First off, I want you to know right now, as an entrepreneur or business owner, there is no such thing as acceptance or rejection in the world of business. There is only alignment. Only alignment. Number two, I actually created a training on how to close prospects within 30 minutes. Here's why. Your prospects know if they want to work with you within 30 minutes. I promise you this. 99% of people who have done coaching with me decided within 30 minutes. So if they haven't decided within 30 minutes if they want to work with you, you might be selling them limiting beliefs, and those are expensive. But I want to give you actually one of the master questions in my script of how to close prospects within 30 minutes. And number one, the first thing you sell the person in front of you is your authority, your credibility, and your relatability. You want to find a way to encourage that person. When they say, hi, how are you? You say, I'm grateful we're meeting today. How are you? You want to find a quick way to encourage that person. And here's the question. I'm curious, when you thought about us chatting today, what was your thought? Because you want to honor the intention that that person brought to your time together today. And then that sets the direction to make empowered decisions to align with the destination of partnership with you in some way. Even if it's just adding a little value to that person's day, it will eventually transform relationships into revenue.
I love it. They're wondering, who is this person speaking? Shay, you've got off the race. I got excited. She got talking about sales. You got even more excited. She's talking about helping people grow their business. You got doubly excited because she's not just talking woo-woo here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing wrong with woo-woo. We need woo-woo. But you're talking some specific things that you can do. So you might be wondering, who in the LL Cool J is this lady on the other side, right? What's her backstory and what led her to doing what she's doing now? Because maybe you didn't read the resume. You didn't read her bio. Maybe you're cooking in the kitchen. Maybe right now you're at the gym listening to the podcast. So Bridget, we'll slow down for a moment and then we'll speed up. But take a moment if you can. Tell them, who are you? You know the question, the backstory. Then what was that defining moment that you knew that this was the path you were called to do?
Che, I would like to say that it was all inspiration, but honestly, it was desperation. So it starts with the reinvention evolution of 2020. I was actually on my way to getting Zoom divorced. I moved out of my beautiful home. I moved into an apartment with my 3 young boys at the time. And my job in the seniors industry disappeared because you couldn't go near a senior citizen for their safety. And then virtual school happened to add insult to injury. And I'm sitting at home going, what do I do? And Bridge to Freedom coaching was actually just a side hustle at the time. I'd had 3 clients and I got a random Zoom business networking link. Shay, I didn't even know what a Zoom was. And I showed up on this Thursday morning at 8 a.m. And this gentleman, Brian, goes, Bridget Hom, give your 30 seconds. And I'm like, dang it, he mispronounced my last name. What am I supposed to say? And what came out was Bridget Hom here with Bridge to Freedom Coaching. Are you ready to level up? And I had 6 clients within 6 weeks. My 90-day Find Your Freedom program was born. My self-paced group coaching programs were born. Group sales trainings, motivational speaking engagements, the best-selling book Stuck On Ready. And honestly, I've had the opportunity to serve hundreds and influence thousands since then, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., might I add. It's a very important part.
And so that leads to a very important part, because you mentioned the responsibilities you have, and we have a number of folks on here that are dualpreneurs. By the way, they work a full-time job, they're a full-time entrepreneur, they are also take care of their husband, or they take care of their wife, and they have kids, and the kids have schedules, and they're involved in the community. So it begs the question, which is, what's your thought on, how do you balance it all? How do you have the priority without losing your mind, if I could say that?
It's so important to make deposits into your Serenity account, your Sanity account, and your real bank account, Che.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that. So how you do that, and I'm gonna tell you exactly the secret that I share with all of the entrepreneurs I get to work with, is you want to be extremely intentional with honoring your roles and your goals. What that means is you want to have hours of operation that you give everything within you to serve your prospects, clients, and referral partners. You add value to their lives. I always say, follow this list: your mindset programming, your clients, your prospects, prospecting, networking, and content creation. That is the list that you keep within your hours of operation. And then after that, you go and honor your roles. You make sure you're intentional with that deserved romance with life that you can absolutely have. Because the reason we're entrepreneurs is because we want that freedom. We want business and life on our terms, and it can absolutely be done. If you're listening right now, I'm here to prove it, and I encourage you in this.
And you talked about your program, Freedom in 90 Days. Can you repeat it again?
Find your freedom.
Find
90 days.
the freedom. What led to that? I mean, was it because you were in that program, or were you looking for freedom yourself?
Well, as I told you, it was desperation. But I will say, most of the jobs that I had before, my background's actually ministry and journalism, and I was a
Yeah.
stay-at-home mom for a decade. And I always noticed that I always was trying to say, hey, how about these hours of operation? I was always saying, I can do this for X amount of dollars. And so it's recognizing your value is in who you're being when you're doing. It's always everything's up for a negotiation if you know your value within you. So I noticed I was always doing that. When it came to coaching, I believed that people deserve to have this information. They deserve to have this skill set of entrepreneurship if that's what they wanted. And so I learned how to teach that, how to put these into mindset strategies, how to put them into a book, how to put them into a program and teach people how to practice entrepreneurship successfully, get to 10K plus a month, whatever you would like to do, how much time you'd like to dedicate to your business, as long as you honor your roles and goals at the same time.
What do you enjoy most about what you're doing now?
Well, honestly, I truly do love the people I work with. You know, I absolutely adore seeing them in my group coaching experience. We have open office hours, and so I'm able to chat with them and hearing about what's going well. And I always say, what's going well personally, professionally, seeing them say things like, I feel like I met myself for the first time. I never thought I could launch a successful business. I was trapped in the corporate world and I didn't know what my next move was. And I didn't realize that there was someone who could teach me how to do this thing called entrepreneurship much faster than, when we sabotaged ourselves. I know lots of entrepreneurs who have been at this for 2-3 years without being able to monetize and support themselves. So, what fuels me every single day is that I know that I've helped one entrepreneur, well, more than one, a lot more than one, but at least one entrepreneur today see that they can do this for themselves. They can sustain their livelihood. They can live in the freedom of traveling wherever they want to go. They can actually, when their kids say, "Hey, mom, I really would like this birthday party at the Rapids," which I actually just did for my youngest, or if I really need that new bike, or "Hey, honey, I'd love to plan this trip for us for our honeymoon or our anniversary," that they can do that. That's what freedom means. It doesn't mean the multi-billion dollars. It doesn't mean, the Lamborghini that my kids talk about. It doesn't mean, any of those things. It's, what does freedom look like for you? And for me, it's entrepreneurship.
I love it. It's a great segue to a segment we have here called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know exactly what we're going to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. And for all the new folks who tune in for the very first time, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We're glad that you're here. Today is my January 1st is our personal mantra here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It means you get a do-over. It means you get a fresh start. It means the past, no matter how bright and sunny it is or how dark and gloomy it is, the past no longer equals the future. So my question for Bridget on the other side is, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And then maybe what was a moment in your life, another moment you had to step back and there was a setback, and how did you bounce back from it?
I would say one of the gifts that I really have is staying present, and seeing that today is the only day that we have to live. And the one thing that made me think of was, okay, did I hire the right mental team today? Have I self-validated my success? Because the mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So for me, it's, all right, have I celebrated my successes today? How many people did I get to inspire? How my kids were fed, they got dressed for school, they're all well. Like, what are my successes that I can self-validate today for myself? Because every single day you either sabotage or you celebrate your success. We have one of two options. And so today I choose to look at the successes that have come just about from this day.
Mm. I love it, by the way. You know, one of the questions I get to ask when we have time, and we do have time today, is what's one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever been given? Now, we don't expect you to come down with, tablets from on high on the mountain, the 10 Commandments or anything, but we are curious. And for folks at home, we'll frame it that, she's had so many mentors along this journey of life, probably more than she can remember, read so many books. I don't know how many hours of videos she's watched. But if you had to, Bridget, step back and say, this is one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given that I want to pass to the audience, what would it be and why?
I'm actually going to tell you a quick story. When I was launching into coaching and started a placement agency for seniors, my business partner, Walter, I was really nervous about venturing into business and entrepreneurship. And he said, Bridget, this is the best piece of advice I've ever received. He says, anywhere we go, anyone we meet, I need you to just be you. Be you. And that really said it all. It really says it all. Because the right people, the right prospects are going to want to work with you because of who you are first. And then they're going to think what you have to offer is exceptional.
Being you, just be yourself, be who you are. When you're not out saving the world, what do you do for fun these days?
Well, I love to salsa. That's actually where I met my first business partner, at a dance studio. So I love the salsa. I worship lead for something called Recovery Church Movement, and that's a national ministry. I do a lot of worship. I love ministry. That's my first love, ministry and people. I love riding my bike with my boys. That's probably my favorite thing to do now. Playing soccer. My husband's on an adult soccer team. Just anything outdoors with the boys right now is a great time for me. It gives me a romance with life. But I do love reading certain books by C.S. Lewis and Napoleon Hill. Outwitting the Devil is a great book. Another pamphlet called Money is God in Action is excellent for the entrepreneur who needs a new money mindset. And of course, this book right here.
Yes.
It helps you immensely.
Stuck on Ready. Now, and where can I get the book Stuck on Ready?
StuckOnReady.com actually gets you a free copy plus shipping. Okay. Free copy. And you actually can see it will lead you down to the funnel, which you can actually get the training, how to close prospects within 30 minutes with the master script. And somebody told me in networking, I closed 3 prospects that day after I got that script, Bridget. So thank you very much. But you can get the book for free.
That is cool.
It was exciting. Honestly, I was like, yes, you are making moves. You deserve this so much.
That's awesome. So, as we come down the home stretch, a 2-part question. Number 1, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any? I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any more clients. And number 2, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have now?
Right now, I have a newly launched group coaching program. So if you are an entrepreneur, a coach or consultant, or small business owner, if you have a team, then absolutely reach out to me. You can find me on my website, bridgetofreedomcoaching.com, or reach out to me directly on my calendar, bridgethom.me. And I'll give you some direction based on what we've talked about today, or based on where you're at in your business growth. But the group coaching program, it comes with everything you need, the one-stop shop for success and monetization as an entrepreneur.
But let me say 2 things. Number 1, first, thanks for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Number 2, I love your energy. We got to have you back.
Thanks, Jay. I love sharing space with you. We can talk about sales and all day, entrepreneurship all day.
For sure. And it's the fastest path to freedom or financial freedom for a number of folks that are watching right now. Not all of you, but for some of you, this is the path to give you the unlimited financial resources you need. With that being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, the viewer, well, there is no show. So we appreciate you showing up. Thanks for being here, by the way. It's always cool when you hit the like button, but really we like when you hit the share button, where you can pay this message forward to another community, another individual, so their life can be better, so they can impact more folks. And I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that you truly are a successful CEO. You are really amazing. You're incredible. You're a game changer. You're someone, no matter what's going on in your life, is doing some incredible things. And for you, I do believe with every fiber in my heart that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown. It hadn't changed. The Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And we'll make some good things how we connect again next time. Thanks a lot, Bridget. We'll see you again soon. Peace, everybody.